So there's some real quick tips that I learned doing this. This is the last one I'm putting on the side window deflector. So, first off, you have to pull this down. So make sure this is all down as far as you want it, from about here all the way along to about here. Same as this one. I already fitted this one, I already fitted the other side. I screwed the other side up a little bit. But here's the important tips. This is on a 23 Outback. So this clip here, you've got to take the rubber off. And there's another clip back here. You got to take the rubber off. If you try to put it on with the rubber on, the windows aren't going to shut. And then the other thing is, before you put it on, remove this piece of tape here and remove this piece of tape here so that the ends stick. And what you want to do is pull up this piece of tape, but pull it up over the top here. I'll show you when I do it, over the top, because you want to be able to, you don't want the glue showing all the way, because it's going to be a hell of a job to try and get all this aligned without it sticking. So you want to pop this up and pull some down here, because if you pull it the other way, you're going to get this clip and you're not going to get the plastic off. So anyway, that's the real tips to it. So let me do a little bit more and I'll show you what I mean. I'm on my own here, so it's kind of hard positioning the camera and stuff, but you've got to pull this up a little bit and pull it up to the top so you can remove it as you go along. Okay, so now you can see what I'm talking about. I took the red tape off here and I took the red tape off down here. So this red tape that's still left on there, I say you don't want to remove it right away, because it's gonna make it really difficult to position it correctly. So I did the other side different, so I'm experimenting this side. But what you do basically is position the front exactly how you want it, and then as you go all the way along here, you're going to pull the red tape off until you get to the back, and then hopefully everything should be fed correctly. Make sure you clean this area again before you do it. That's really vital. And this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so that's why it's all kind of kooky cup. But make sure your tape is out the top like that. So let me try this and I'll show you how it turns out. I'm going to pull that tape as I position it as I go along. And I should end up here with all the tape pulled out the top there. So let's try it. Okay, so I positioned it where I want it. It looks dirty because I've got to clean it, but that's where I want it. And now you can see I've pulled the red tape out all the way up here, and it's positioned exactly here where I want it. Both ends are glued down. Both clips, you got to make sure both clips are inside, like so. I don't know if you can see that clip up there. The clip is in the channel. This is where the plastic goes, the rubber goes up in there to seal it, but there's the clip. Oops, there we go. Don't want to see my dirty sealing. There's a clip inside the channel. So you got to make sure that's right. Then make sure this is all positioned correctly, which it is. Then I just take this, pull it along, throw that away, get my cloth, and voila. And it is pretty well lined up where I want it. Make sure it's sticking down. And voila, that was the last one I did, and that was the easiest one I did, and it goes on fine. So I wish I'd known that in the first place, because the other side's a little bit screwed up. The alignment here is a little bit out on the other side. Also, be very careful, because my front one of these for the passenger side, I was stacking them upright and it fell over and it broke part of this here. So I had to glue this back and made putting it on here a real pain. So just make sure that's pressed down securely. Then I'll fit the rubber back in. And away we go. Let's see if I can get the rubber in. Hopefully it goes back in nice and easy. Get the corner tucked in first, and then go along, and then position this corner in its rightful spot. which is up there. This can be a bit fiddly. The other thing I would suggest is get yourself a rubber, plastic stripping tool or something like this, because you can get that up there in the seams and push it along and flatten it right out. So let me do that and I'll get back to you. Okay, so do this from the inside. You can see I set it back in. So you make sure you put the plastic thing in where the the window goes, and then run it along, pushing all the time. Make sure it's nicely seated, especially in these corners. Okay, so you make sure that's nicely seated in the corners. Do this from inside the car. Okay, so let's see. Let's grab the keys and let's see. So let's put the window up. Okay, so there's a bump somewhere. If that happens, it means you have a little bump somewhere what the window's sensing, and it won't go up. So you've got to recheck it. This is the first side I did, and as you can see, it's a little bit screwed up here. I broke that. That's when it fell over, it broke that, so I had to glue that. And it's a little bit out of alignment. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. I'm not that bothered about it because it's a passenger side. But let's go round and take a look. This is the nice side. This is the second side I did with the videos, and this came out really nice, this side. So as you can see, it's pretty well aligned. Everything looks good. It needs a clean, but just make sure, like I said, make sure you take this red tape off here and this red tape off here, and pull the red tape from these out the top here, so it's hanging out the top. And then as you go past the first clip, which is about here somewhere, and then once you get to here, as you push it, hold this end with one hand where you want it, and then with this, because this end will be stuck down already. So then what you do is, while you're holding this, you pull the red tape out the top here and pull it along like so. Just pull it out as you go, and that'll all seal down nice. And that's the trick. And then if the window doesn't go up, which it didn't, the only one that didn't go up, what happened is you didn't replace the rubber back properly. So you've got to make sure this rubber, the window goes up in. Mine had a little kink up there, and that's what was stopping it. I thought it was the two clips, but it wasn't. It was that. So make sure all these little corners, and use that plastic tool to go along and make sure it's all settled in there nice and tight, and you should be good to go. And there you go. Alrighty.